people of Queensland and Australia. One Nation stands for veterans and for small business. But I want to address the root cause. This is a patch, this is a band-aid. It's very necessary, but it's not addressing the root cause. Senator Gallagher has stated that self-employment, this is a quote, self-employment is an excellent alternative to traditional employment for Australians who want to use their existing skills and experience in a work environment of their choice. We agree. Yet Labor is really anti-self-employment and soon intends to stifle small business and self-employed Australians under gig laws that could strangle the sector, devastated California, for example, and sent people interstate. There's nowhere to go beyond the shores of this country if Labor gets its way. And I remember what Labor did and the union bosses did and some dishonest, disrespectful, anti-human multinational corporations did in the Hunter Valley. Labor joined them in enabling the exploitation and abuse of casual coal miners in the Hunter. And when I tried to stand up for them, the Labor Member of Parliament for the Hunter at the time, Mr Joel Fitzgibbon, misrepresented me and the problems, apparently to hide the problems. And that perpetuated the abuse of workers and the hurt of workers. Labor does not care about workers. Modern Labor cares about getting green votes in the inner cities. Everyday Australians are now suffering from 2.5 years of COVID mismanagement and ongoing. Labor wasn't the federal government, but Labor was in power in the states, and the states and federal government worked together hand in hand to destroy the productive capacity of this country. Not only that, over the last 2.5 years, but over the last 78 years since 1944. Labor wants to phase out the coal industry and jobs in the coal sector and related sectors. The Labor-Greens coalition in the Senate is hell-bent on doing that. Labor is in favour of eroding our rights and freedoms, increasing rents, house prices, energy prices and debt. And there's a lack of much-needed tax reform and economic reform. That needs to be comprehensive reform. Australia's productive capacity, as I said a minute ago, is being destroyed and has been destroyed, is in the process of being destroyed for 78 years. In uncertain times, such as I've just described, much more needs to be done to support small business and the self-employed. Yes, we agree that starting a new enterprise or a self-employment assistance program is a help to some people, particularly hard-working vets who've earned the support. But they're up against it in the form of the taxation system, energy prices, infrastructure, lack of infrastructure, and over-regulation, capricious over-regulation. And all workers, not just vets, all workers are suffering because the productive capacity of this country, our beautiful country, has been destroyed. The economic environment has been destroyed. Government's job is not to employ people. Government's job is to create an environment that favours the employment of people through people taking risks with investment, people hiring workers. That's where real jobs, sustainable jobs, come from. That's known throughout developed civilization. We must give Australians the opportunity to be free, to be their own boss and to own a business that offers them secure work and financial independence. Free to create, initiate, innovate. And that needs cheap energy. Labor, with its mates in the Labor-Greens coalition, are raising energy prices. We went from being the cheapest electricity sources in the world to having amongst the highest electricity prices in the world. Not due to resources, not due to Mother Nature, due entirely to mismanagement under the Liberal, Labor, Nats, Greens circus. Not only do we need energy, affordable, reliable, secure energy, we need fair reward. That means a comprehensive reform of the tax system which stifles. And why are we letting multinational corporations off the hook as of Robert Menzies' bill in 1953 and Prime Minister Hawke's legislation and the Petroleum Resources Tax in the 1980s. Both sides have done it. Jim Kalali, the former Deputy Assistant Commissioner of Taxation in this country, responsible for large companies and international matters, said that 90%, he said it in 1996 and 2010, 90% of Australia's large companies are foreign-owned and since 1953 have paid little or no company tax. Meanwhile, people in this country are paying individuals are paying exorbitant tax rates. And the median income in this country now is $51,000. After tax, that's around about $45,000, $46,000. And the additional costs of Labor, Greens, Nationals, Liberals policy on energy, the additional costs of solar and wind subsidies and climate subsidies is a staggering $1,300 per year. How the hell can someone earning $45,000, $46,000 a year afford that additional cost? That's not electricity cost. That's additional cost for solar and wind subsidies. We're sending the country broke because of the people in this building lacking the courage to do what is right and to tell the truth. Veterans need more support, and this bill is just not enough. When will Labor and the Greens do something about housing, rents, veteran suicides, agriculture, energy, inflation? Who will protect the economy and jobs? Who will create the economic environment that enables people to invest, innovate, create and be entrepreneurs? Who will do that? When will Labor and the Greens do something about this very issue? Who will restore the productive capacity of our country, the economic environment of our country? Labor and the Greens don't understand. In fact, while I enjoyed listening to Senator Allman-Payne yesterday and sharing her emotions freely, she was crying at the plight of the poor and then congratulating Senator Larissa Waters for her 12 years in the Senate, in which Senator Waters is directly responsible for raising the costs of electricity that is destroying the poor and raising prices through the roof in terms of inflation. That's what's going on. It's complete ignorance. Contrary to that, we understand. One Nation understands the root cause and the solutions to the root causes of these problems. We are one people, we are one community, and we are one magnificent country with enormous potential. We just need to become again one nation. Thank you.